kind of monitor how you put yourself out there. Like, as far as like, even as a teacher, like, you don't want your children's parents, coming across your Facebook page or, your Snapchat page. Cause that actually happened to me when I was a preschool teacher, before. It's like, that actually happened to me. Like, a parent had seen me on one of my cousin's Snapchat just having a good old time. You know what I'm saying? And they was like, I see this. But social media, man, it's the time that we in because everybody puts everything on social media these days. Um, me personally, I feel like it takes away from living in the moment because we be so concerned about recording what it is that we're doing. But then at the same time, you love to be able to look back and have this type of memories. You love to be able to, you know, um, like I love Facebook memories, like just to see things, pick up or whatever, and or what I was doing, years ago or something like that. But see, sometimes people don't like to be reminded of their past or, things like that, or they don't want to see certain things. And so maybe not everyone, loves them, or maybe that's not why they do it. I'm not really sure. But I just do know that we just live in a very technical age right now. So it's like a lot of things are on social medias. And then you get intoxicated. You might not even realize what you're putting on social media if you're one of those type of people. Um, and so yeah, it's just we have to make better choices and better decisions within ourselves within those moments. Not saying that he did anything wrong, because as long as you can accept the consequences of what it is, whatever it is that you're doing, like, then that's fine. Personally, I definitely feel like that because I definitely am a type of person. As long as I'm not going to it, to me it's like lying, right? Because lying is one of those things that I feel like is a choice. In the moment, you have the choice to tell the truth or to tell a lie. And when you're most of the time, people lie out of fear. They either fear the consequences of their actions, or fear how what they
You
say or
ran
what they
all the
do is
all
going to
news
make
moment
how it's going to
show, and
make
I'm
someone
Jamal
else
Mason.
feel,
Thank you so
or
very much.
it's basically out of fear. And so, and I learned this at a real young age. Like, my dad used to tell me, don't do nothing that you can't tell nobody about, or that you're not gonna want to tell nobody about. If they come asking. So the fact that you would want to lie on it, like, you have to be able to stand on what it is that you do and what you say. So at the end of the day, if you're fine with um undergoing the consequences of what it is, the content that you put out, then that's fine. Then do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Paul Pierce is really hurting for money. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how bad losing the job at ESPN is really gonna affect him. However, for some people that may not be in that situation, that's just like in normal, professions and things like that, like, we get held to the same standard. Like, people judge you off of what they see on your social media, what you're doing, a lot of people, I say all the time, a lot of people gonna understand that social media is entertainment. And it should be looked at and viewed as such. Now the live's a little bit different when you got strippers and there all that kind of stuff, all around you. You can't really be like, no, you were really doing it, and then you put it out for the world to see. So again, I don't really agree with jobs just being all in your, like, basically in your business, to where they can, affect your livelihood from how you live your life or how you choose to entertain yourself. At the same time, we being in such a technical age and being in such a social media frenzy, stage of life, that's just what the world is in right now. So it's like you do have to be more, um what's the word I'm looking for? Just be more aware, more conscious, I guess, be more aware of what it is that you're actually putting out for the world to see, knowing that you could have repercussions from the things that you are putting out there. But again, if you're fine with the repercussions, do what it is that you do. You know what I'm saying? But if losing your job will hurt you, you might want to think about what you're doing. You might want to think a little bit before you act, before you, but and then again, like I said, live in the moment. We get so caught up. I remember seeing these memes, and there was this guy was talking about, like, his girlfriend. He's like, I can't even eat my food because she want to take a picture and want a video and all this other kind of stuff. Like, live in the moment. Everything is not meant to be captured. Like, our minds can hold more memories than any of these things. Like, than any of these um phones or devices, or you know what I'm saying, things that we may have. And so we do have to definitely learn how to just like enjoy the moment. And you know, I think I had did this quote on here, and I think I told you guys it was a Buddha quote, but it's really not. It was Lorenzo Laso Tide, Tau, something like that, Tide too, but it's something like that. But when he was just thinking about, if you're living in the past, then you're depressed. You know what I'm saying? If you're living in the future, then you're anxious. But if you're at peace, then you're most likely living in the present moment. You know what I'm saying? So we can't do anything about the things that happened yesterday. We can't really we do have control over the things that's going to happen tomorrow, but it's all based off what we do in the present moment today. You know, it's going to affect tomorrow, but there's no need to be anxious about it if you're comfortable in the things that you're doing today. So, or and just being present and being in the present moment of what it is that you're, you know what I'm saying, you're living in today. And so it brings me into this conversation. I was having a discussion on Facebook about creative faith. And you guys know I'm Moorish American, so creative faith is one of the things that's real big in, you know, in Islam. And so when it talks about creative faith, you know, what people ask, well, what is creative faith? You know, and that's kind of what we were discussing, because in the Quran it says, you know, creative faith gave to spirit man a soul that he may function on the plane of soul. He gave to the soul a body of flesh that he may function on the plane of things may manifest, right? And so then you think about these things of how so then you have to go deeper into um how you use these things. Like, what is your soul? You know what I'm saying? Like, how, and then of course we know what the body is. We know what the vehicle is. You know, but how do these things differentiate? How are you using them to the best of your ability to be godlike? You know, Christ like, however you want to say it. You know, to be divine, to be love may manifest. Like, to just basically be a good person, you know, and be able to enjoy life, like enjoy the things that are on the plane to manifest, you know, because a lot of people go through this life struggling. You get a lot of people that are depressed. You get a lot of people that contemplate suicide. You get a lot of people that just don't enjoy life. You know, it's always seeming hard. There's always, you know, if it ain't one thing, it's another. It's always some type of hurdle to jump over. You got to learn how to deal with so many different things: grief, hurt, heartbreak. Like, so much things go into living, like literally living, you know, and people don't, and a lot of people don't enjoy that. I personally feel like the knowledge of you know, this is knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, right? So, but the knowledge of creative faith, the knowledge of your ability to just knowing yourself, what your body is capable of, what your soul is capable of, like knowing that knowledge helps navigate, you know, the plane of manifest. See, the thing I look at it as, and I think I might have told you guys this a long time ago, but I'm gonna tell you again. It's like water. I look at like our body, our soul, our spirit, you know, like water. So, and the reason that I say that is because water, you know, you have three stages of water. You have the gas stage, which is vapor, you know, which is it's not contained in any space, and it feels whatever, you know, it feels space, like it's uncontainable. Then you have the solid form, which is, or no, then you have the water form, the liquid form. So then, you know, liquids are so um vapor condensed turns into liquid, you know what I'm saying? And then you get the water stage. And liquid basically it fills space, it flows freely, you know what I'm saying? But it's also contained by whatever. If you put it into a container, it is contained by whatever space it is filling in that moment, you know. And then you got ice, which is the solid form, the hard form, you know what I'm saying? And so, and it's gonna make sense to y'all in a minute, right? So now if you go back up, right? So, or okay, so let's just go from liquid to solid, so to ice. Now, the liquid, the water is still present in the ice form. You know what I'm saying? Like without it, there would be no ice. You know what I'm saying? So it's still present. However, you cannot see it. You cannot, you know what I'm saying? You know it's water because it's water, but it's the physical form of it. So it's still present. But if you go back to the liquid stage, so we still got this water, we still got the vapor. The vapor is still present in this liquid stage, but ice is no longer there. You know what I'm saying? It's no longer there. The physical hold of, you know what I'm saying, mode of ice is not there, right? Same thing on the vapor. On the vapor stage, it's condensed, so the water is still there, but the form is not seen. So the vapor is still contained in the water. It's still contained in the water is still contained in ice. You know what I'm saying? But as you go back up, it doesn't work the same way, right? Now, let me take why I say this is the same thing when it comes to us as humans. So you got the spirit, you got the soul, and then you got your body, which you got, you know what I'm saying, your physical form. That's your ice stage. You know what I'm saying? Your body, this is your ice stage. Your soul is your water stage. You know what I'm saying? Our soul is housed in our minds. It's our soul is housed, is contained in this body. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's contained in this body. And then you know, your spirit, which is oneness with God. You know what I'm saying? When you like transition, everything like that. I can't tell you what that stage feel like or look like, but I know it's there. I have faith that it's there. Okay. But yeah, so like that's just like my easiest way to explain it to people, or that I try to explain it to people, especially when we're talking about it. Um, but everything has its own purpose, and it's the same thing when it comes to humans. So when it says creative faith gave us a body that we may function on a plane of on a plane of things may manifest, right? Your soul couldn't just be ramming in the things of playing manifest. You're not gonna be able to type on the computer. You're not gonna be able to answer the phone. You're not gonna be able to, you know, eat, taste, smell, all these things that you do, senses to your body. You know what I'm saying? Eat, taste, smell, hear, all these, see. You know what I'm saying? All those type of things like that or whatever. You couldn't do that. And the soul couldn't do it without the body. You know what I'm saying? Because that is the plane of manifest, the things that we can physically see, touch, make, you know, eat, drink, like those are that is the plane of manifest. You know what I'm saying? This earth is the plane of manifest. Things that we can physically knock on, this desk, this computer, like this camera, like, you know what I'm saying? It's all part of the things may manifest, all part of the plane of manifest. But then you also have a soul plane. The soul plane is a little bit more tricky because people don't really teach you about the soul plane. We're not really taught about the soul plane and how to um really use the soul plane. Well, I mean, I'm saying we, but I'm really talking about y'all. No, I'm just saying. But I'm saying just most people in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, just most people in general, because when you certain different people have certain knowledge, you know, and then not, because knowledge is infinite. So it's all depends on the studying that you do. It all depends on what you feed your brain, like what you feed yourself. So you can't never really just go thinking that, you know, we know everything or anything like that. Just always know that there's probably something out there that you don't know. Right? But however, so it says thinking, willing, understanding, reasoning. These call these not the soul, but these actions, right? So it's the actions of the soul. When we think about the mind, I said the mind houses the soul, you know, and this is very relevant, and this is very real, because just think about a person that's brain dead. Their body is still here. You know what I'm saying? Their soul is not in there. There's no thinking, there's no understanding, there's no reasoning, there's no, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing. They're all they are is in a vegetative state. Their body is still there, you know? But the soul has been left, right? Because it's housed in the mind, you know, and it's where we control our thoughts. And so when I think about creative faith, I think about the power of choice. Everything that we go through in our life has to do with a choice that we have made, whether you want to accept that or take accountability for that. But it is, you know what I'm saying, the things that and now, granted, things happen around us, you know what I'm saying, that affect us, but we all have the choice of how we react or how we respond to it. So, like I said, it's every moment is a choice. So if you think about, if you really think about, I read this the spiritual seven spiritual laws of success, right? If you guys haven't seen it, I actually I was about to say I probably could try to show you because it's right here, but it talks about thinking how many choices do you think you make a day? How often are you aware of the choices that you're making? You know what I'm saying? Like how aware of you thinking of, this is a choice. Or are you just on autopilot? Because a lot of people move off of autopilot. And it's kind of sometimes it's very hindering. When you just move off of autopilot and you're having no control of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not having a control over anything that's going on. So to be just on autopilot it's I don't even know what to call it, but it's not somewhere you should want to be. Like I want to be fully aware of the choices that I'm making. So because if my life is not going the way that I want my life to go, I know that I have the ability, creative faith gave me the ability to make this choice, to change my thoughts, to decide what am I going to think, decide what am I going to do. If I don't want high blood pressure, I can decide what am I going to eat today. How many times I'm going to eat today. If I want to lose weight, if I don't like the way my body looks, like all these type of things. Like we literally have choices, and the choices that we make literally affect all these type of things and affect our life in a sense of where it's going. And how it's going. Now, don't get me wrong, there's always going to be obstacles. I tell people all the time, if there's no obstacles, you dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, point blank, period. Because you have to be challenged. The moment that you decide that you want to change something about your life, the universe going to start throwing all the tests at you. If you decide that, I remember when okay, I'm a woman, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm an Asiatic woman. I got locks now, but I used to get perms, right? And so on the day, I might not ever scratch my head. You know what I'm saying? But on the day I decide that that I'm gonna perm my hair, for some reason my head just itch. But I have a choice at that moment if I'm gonna make it. That's because the universe know you about to get a perm. So it's gonna say, are you gonna scratch or are you not gonna scratch? You know what I'm saying? So it's to say, I want to stop getting an attitude, or I want to stop getting upset. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that person anymore. You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna get people coming at you that are going to be doing things that would normally make you upset, that would normally give you an attitude, to just see what choice are you going to make in that time. Are you going to hold fast to your will, to your discipline, to what you said that it is that you want to do, or are you going to fall on this hurdle? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to trip over this obstacle? Like, are you going to fall in the hole? Or are you going to jump over it? But they're still always going to be there because you can't control other people. You cannot control other people, and trust and believe. Like I said, it's a test. Life is a test. When we think about schools and things like that, it's like they say when you're in school, you study, you learn a lesson, you know what I'm saying, you study, then you take the test. In life, you take the test, and then based on how you do, you gonna learn and then have to retake it and study and all this other kind of stuff or whatever, depending on all the type of different tests that can come at you. I gotta take a break. I'm over my break time. I'm just running my mouth. So I have to take a break real fast, but I ask that you guys just bear with me. Let us get our sponsorships out the way. And yeah, I'll be right back in about 90 seconds. Take this time to like, share, make a comment or two in the video, share it to your family and friends so they'll come in and tap in for the second half. I'll be right back. Mr. Walker?
Wait a minute. Let me set this thing up.
Yep. Everybody said they can't. Okay, can y'all hear me now? Let's see. Okay, so let's just start that all the way over. Um, Sorry that you guys couldn't hear me. Are you sure I'm there now? 'Cause I don't see no title. Everybody, okay. Maybe it's just behind. Sorry, y'all. Y'all gotta let us get this together. Y'all know, you know. It's just a little technical technicalities. All right, so let's start this all the way over. Appreciate you guys. Okay, appreciate you guys bearing with me for a while. We took our break again. Let our sponsorships get out the way. Let us pay the bills. Again, if you have an event or a business that you would like to sponsor here on KUAW, make sure to send us the email at kuaw985 at gmail.com. Again, this is the Truth Be Told. We're live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. So yes, again, appreciate you guys for joining me. So good, a good conversation the first half of the show. I definitely appreciate all everyone tapping in and watching and everything with me. Again, just wanted to touch on those topics a little bit. Normally, I normally do like kind of like a relationship type thing around something in my second half, but I'm not gonna do that today because I've seen something that's been heavy on my mind ever since I seen it. Thank you, Mr. Walker, for letting me know. And sis, I see you. Hey sis. But thank you. So, okay. Interracial adoption and fostering. The reason I want to talk about this is because like you have a lot of celebrities that have interracial adoptions, and they you see a lot of things like their sons being dressed in like dresses and all kind of stuff like that. That's mainly really what you see. It's like kind of like the emasculation of like our young boys in a sense, especially when it comes to like those people, and then with girls, their hair. Like, to me that's the main thing is their hair. Like, oh, it's crazy. And then so yeah, but the reason that I wanted to talk about this is because I was overhearing a conversation, and because I know this girl, I have a coworker, and she recently was, we was all excited, she was going through her classes and everything to become a foster parent, and she was really excited about this and everything like that. Well, she finally got placed, with children and everything. She got placed with 3 Asiatic children, all under the age of 3, like 2, 1, and months, right? So, but I was just overhearing her talking, and she was frustrated, saying how bad and out of control they were, and how she had never experienced anything like that, when it came to children. And yeah, yeah, it was intense. Like it was really intense. Like me personally, I felt like we needed to have a conversation so I can help her understand her children more, or be like better parenting to her children, because I do feel like it's a difference. And you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Do you feel like it should be a difference? I know like earlier I was saying that we're humans and we have to see each other as humans and treat each other as humans and things like that. But however, there are significant differences, you know what I'm saying, between us. There are significant differences. They talk about, even when you think about discipline, um, they talk about how Europeans go more of a timeout rate. They kind of let their children talk to them any kind of way. Like, y'all didn't see the videos. I know I ain't the only one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of throw fits. Like, sometimes it seems like they really have no discipline. But and then I'm just imagining like someone that is like frustrated. Now, see, here's the crazy thing, and this is where people be saying I sound racist. So I'm sorry if y'all say that. But here's the one thing I can say. We can handle their children. I'm gonna let you know that right now. I don't feel like it would be a problem, like, you know what I'm saying, with us on the, but when it's vice versa, I feel like there's a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just a struggle. There's a struggle in communication. There's a struggle in discipline. There's a struggle in grooming. Um, right, and that's another thing. It's like even dealing with the mental capacity. You know what I'm saying? Just how we process things, how we understand things, how we get through things. It's a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like um I feel like there are some differences. But it's hard. It's hard, and it's you even think about. And see, I'm not even so much more so even with like homosexual. A lot of people say that homosexuals shouldn't adopt children, right? And I'm not even in a sense of all the way like just against that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that because someone has like gay parents or homosexual parents that they're going to be a homosexual. Like, I feel like they just have a broader spectrum of what life and love is. I don't necessarily feel like that is gonna make them that way. I don't feel like that they will harm children, because if you have a love for children, you have a love for children. So I don't necessarily feel any kind of danger or nothing like when it comes to that. That's one thing that you hear a lot. I do feel like it should be resources. There should be a lot of resources for interracial, like adoption and fostering, just to help like cope with, because see, to me it was like the things that she was describing to me just sound like normal children. You know what I'm saying? Like it sound like normal children, right? I mean, and I was a preschool teacher, so I've been around multiple races of children, and certain in ages. Um but just those things that she was saying, like I was just yelling like just how she was describing and talking to them and trying to resolve her issues that she was having with them, and just I could just hear the frustration in her voice. Like when she, you know what I'm saying? Like I could just hear the frustration. It was to the point where it's just like I just didn't know what to do. Like I wanted to tear my hair out. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't know what to do. And that's why I feel like there should be, resources for these type of things to make sure that the child is still developing in a way that's going to be beneficial to who they are. And I don't think that it's crazy to say this, but I mean, we see it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Even as adults, even in workplaces, I don't really feel like the understanding of who we are and Europeans is very like understood in a sense. And I hope I'm choosing my words right. Like I hope I'm saying the right words to trying to get across like what I'm saying, because I don't want to come off a certain type of way. Like I don't want to come off racist or anything like that. Because I definitely don't feel like that, in my heart. Like to me, racism requires hate. And there's no hate, you know what I'm saying? But we have to be able to respect and talk about the differences. Um, when you are raising children, you can't be lazy. You have to have energy, plenty of energy. Definitely, I feel like plenty of energy and plenty of patience. I definitely, and I feel like you gotta have, like, with patience comes also just like understanding. Um, and like, because I feel like if a child is acting out, you should be able to talk. If you feel like they're acting out, most of the time children act out because of like attention. They feel like they're lacking attention in some area, or what I'm saying, something like that. But other than that, but see, you do have real issues like autism. You have real issues like ADHD, which are showing up more, which are showing up more in our children, which I feel is because of vaccinations. But that's for another show. You know what I'm saying? Like that's another show. We're not going to talk about that. But there are certain a lot of things, and then you think about, like I said, they're in foster care, so you don't know if their parents had a drug addiction or anything like that when they were born, or what I'm saying, those type of things take into consideration of behavior and how they process things. And if they had someone of their own nationality in a sense in my mind. Oh, well, this is what I was saying. This is the disclaimer. I know this is the truth be told, but this whole segment, I'm just letting y'all know, has been my opinion. This is just something that I was thinking about, and how I feel. I don't think there's any statistics on it, because at the end of the day, if a child is in foster care or needed for adoption, whoever is willing and capable of doing it and helping that child have a steady home, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that there should be resources, because there are differences, and we should be aware of these differences and recognize these differences and provide resources to be able to help people move through these. I feel like if they had someone that was more relatable to what it is that they were going through, how they were feeling, like, what I'm saying, things like that, then it would be easier to guide them into the way of where it is not trauma, where it's not childhood trauma, like locked in childhood trauma. You know what I'm saying? I think they will be able to help them cope with what it is that they're going through, or being more patient with them. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like words are powerful too. I don't even like for people to call children bad. Like, what I'm saying, to their face. Like, I don't feel like those are the type of things that you should say, what I'm saying, to your children. I feel like you should speak in empowering words and positive affirmations, what I'm saying, to your children. And so I just felt, and like I said, I don't know, because I don't know how to say it without sounding like, I'm not saying like this just shouldn't happen. I'm just saying I feel like it would just be a better situation if it was kind of like that. I know everything is not neat and dry, cut and dry. You know what I'm saying? Like how it is, or anything like that. Like, so it's always exceptions. You got people that learn, everyone is probably capable of learning how to handle certain situations, or being a little bit more patient, but when someone is clearly frustrated, like to the point where she made the comment of, I started to call the people and ask them if I could send them back. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, it's sad. You know what I'm saying? It gets real sad, because do we have enough of our people that's even trying to get into the fostering system, or even trying to adopt children? You know what I'm saying? Are we too busy having them, putting them in the system? You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother conversation. It's like, is it even enough of us going around that can help, like the load, the supply and demand, before you can even say anything like that? So maybe just like a resource center or some type of resources would be like just better than obviously just saying like no interracial fostering, or or what I'm saying, or adoption or anything like that. But I definitely do think it causes some childhood traumas that you are eventually gonna have to heal from. Um, Probably like a lot of some acceptance, maybe some self-doubt, like some self-endearing that you would have to put more into. Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like it's abandonment. Like, if you're not properly nurtured through the things that you're going through, then you grow up into an adult that has all these childhood traumas that you have to deal with, that you have to try to heal. So I definitely just send up prayer for anyone that's doing it. Again, if I praise anyone that's willing to take a child into your home and raise them, and whether that's adoption or whether that's fostering. I just feel like it takes a strong individual to do things like that, a very loving individual to do things like that. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I know it's about time for me to get out of here. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that because it was on my mind, and I kind of wanted to see how you guys, felt about it, and how you thought about it. So leave a comment on this video, or if you go back and rewatch it, leave a comment. If you watch it on YouTube, just leave a comment. I go back and read it, because I just really like to know how people really think and how their mind goes. But that is my time. I'm gonna leave you guys with the Holy Covenant Asiatic Nation. Ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother has given thee suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brothers in adversity, assist him. If thy sisters in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy Father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Peace.